For decades, Americans have debated one controversial question. Should members of Congress be allowed to stay in power for decades, or should there be strict term limits? Right now, U.S. presidents are limited to 2 terms under the 22nd Amendment. But senators and representatives? They can serve indefinitely, as long as voters keep re-electing them. Supporters of term limits argue that Congress has become dominated by career politicians who lose touch with ordinary Americans. In fact, recent polls show overwhelming bipartisan support for congressional term limits. Many people believe fresh faces would bring new ideas, reduce corruption, and make lawmakers more accountable to voters. Critics also point to elderly politicians remaining in office well into their 70s, 80s, and even 90s. They argue that Washington was never meant to be a lifelong career. Instead, they believe representatives should serve temporarily and then return to normal life. But opponents of term limits say the issue is far more complicated. They argue that experience matters, especially in government. Writing laws, negotiating deals, and understanding complex policy takes years to master. If lawmakers are constantly replaced, Congress could become weaker, more chaotic, and even more dependent on lobbyists and special interests. Others believe elections already serve as term limits. If voters dislike a politician, they can simply vote them out. Critics say forced limits could remove effective leaders that people genuinely want to keep in office. There's also concern that term limits could increase political polarization. Some experts argue that long-serving lawmakers often build relationships across party lines, making compromise easier. Without that experience, Congress could become even more divided than it already is. And legally, imposing congressional term limits would require a constitutional amendment. In 1995, the Supreme Court ruled that individual states cannot impose term limits on federal lawmakers by themselves. So the debate continues. Would term limits save American democracy from career politicians? Or would they weaken Congress by removing experienced lawmakers? One thing is certain. Americans remain deeply divided on how long their leaders should stay in power. What do you think? Should Congress have term limits? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more political and historical debates.